Welcome to No Concession Sessions, episode 30, with our very special guest, Tanyalee Davis.
That's me, everybody.
Tanyalee's performing here tonight.
Yes, I am. Two shows.
I saw you had millions of views from your performance at the Apollo.
Yes, live at the Apollo in England. It's not the one in New York City that people think of. It's the London Apollo. It was 4,000 people. It was a big deal.
Yeah, that's still incredible. Millions of views like that.
Yeah.
Your work is good. Very confident. I got the pleasure of picking you up yesterday.
Yeah.
And having the experience of being your wingman for a little while. And it's so funny, the reactions that people have. Like when we were in the hotel, the manager was all kind of nervous, like, what's going on right now? You know, and then the guy in the elevator is like, what are they up to? You know what I mean?
Yeah, secret rendezvous.
Yeah.
Or behind the scenes of, let's pretend what these are, let's assume what these people are up to.
Yeah.
And be completely wrong.
And so how long have you been doing comedy?
I started January 23rd of 1990 in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, at Yuck Yucks Comedy Club. And I didn't even know what stand-up was when I started comedy. I wanted to be an actress, and then I met a guy in a production I was doing. It was Perry the Penguin. I was typecasted. I had the walk down. And he's like, do you want to come down to a comedy club? I'm doing an open mic. And I was like, what is this? And then I went down and watched him, and he was shit. Oh. And I was like, I knew what he was doing wrong, just instinctively. Yeah. So that's how I got started. And he broke up with me because he couldn't handle the competition.
That's awesome. Alpha woman right there. Mm-hmm. And so whenever you do your performance, have you ever done a set where you just ignored the fact that you look different than everyone else? Or are you just going to play on that and just make it the best that you can?
Well, no, because this is a gold mine. I mean, really, it's like I'm this way for a reason, and we wouldn't have reality television if people weren't so voyeuristic and wanting to get up in everybody else's business. And so my stand-up is basically my life story. You know, I've traveled all around the world, and having adventures, being this size, has led to some incredible experiences. So I take my audiences on a journey, and hopefully then inspire them and motivate them to get out and live their life to the fullest.
Yeah, we were discussing yesterday the Peter Dinkle, is that his name?
Peter Dinklage.
Dinklage is out there causing problems for this community, folks.
Wow. Have you heard there's a new live live version action, or live action, what do you call it? Live version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The classic. The Disney classic. And because Peter Dinklage, who more famously known from Game of Thrones and the movie Elf, who's won numerous Emmy Awards, has now come out saying that he doesn't think that little people should be playing dwarves in the Snow White series. So therefore, he has single-handedly just pretty much screwed 7 little people actors out of out of a job that could have platformed them to stardom. So which I think is a load of shit.
Yeah, for sure. Man, you guys up there in his castle just making it rain.
Right, yeah.
He's like, nobody else is getting in the game.
Right, exactly. And so now it's Snow White and the Mystical Creatures.
Ugh. What is that?
Yeah, and they're all different heights and stuff, and they're all different colors and shapes and size. It's not right. No. Wow. I mean, they were great role models, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. First of all, they had their own home. They worked hard. They had some chick cooking and cleaning for them. They're getting a little something on the side. And they worked in a diamond mine. I mean, come on. They were great role models.
Yeah. You know. I never thought of it like that.
It's because they don't think. These people that are making the decisions don't think. They're just hypersensitive and want to change the classics. Yeah,
we're victims of that here. The Washington Redskins are now the Commanders. It's just so hard. I got all that nice merch. I'm never going to be able to wear it.
Well, now it becomes a collector's item.
Oh, it's retro throwback, I guess.
Now you got the collectivity, the appreciation values.
Until there's a commander thing, and that kicks off. We can't have anything commanders now, because that's going to offend commanders.
Yeah, taking command of situations.
I just hope they change the name in general. I mean, like, the Commanders is kind of a weak name.
He is Chris.
This is Chris. Chris is a chef.
Yeah, that's what I do.
We're also live streaming No Concession Sessions fans on TikTok?
On my Tanyalee Davis on TikTok. We have 3.2 million followers on TikTok. So I've got my video on a lazy Susan, and I'm spinning it around. It's kind of cool to be able to do that. I know I'm freezing up. I apologize. I'm in a bank vault. Yes, I have no connection right now, but we're doing the best we can. It's okay. We're in and out.
I love your optimism. You're so optimistic and driven.
Well, I mean,
persevering.
You have two choices in life. You either get on with shit or you curl up and die. Right. I mean, get busy living or get busy dying, as they say in the Shawshank.
Right.
And, that's, my entire life. That's why I have this tattoo I talk about it in my show. My tattoo on my forearm says Unstoppable Me, because I've had that sort of mantra my entire life without actually realizing I had this mantra.
Unstoppable Me tour, is this on your merch?
Yep, I got t-shirts, and I have other merch, which is related to a joke that I talk about in my show. But the Unstoppable Me mantra is basically for everybody, and especially this day and age where everybody's got this victim mentality. You want to feel sorry for you. Especially you people in the TikTok. Oh, love the victim mentality.
Yeah.
I want to talk about all my problems.
Yeah, people don't really drown in their tears, I guess, too much, but they're not going to drown in their own sweat either.
Not from working hard. Nope.
So, you were telling me a really cool story about your trip here. You had to stop in Chicago, and you got some 3D renderings of your feet.
Okay, so
this is for all the feet lovers out there, guys. Check this out.
For the people on TikTok. So I am wearing some green sandals right now. Go look up a video. There's a shoe company, not a company. It's a mom and pop. It's a small business. It's a husband and wife, Annie and Justin Mohop, MOHOP.com is their website. And you might have seen me do videos on my shoes way back like a year and a half ago, talking about my dwarf flipper feet. Very difficult for little people to get shoes on little flipper feet because they're like square. They're like little elephant trucks. And so difficult to get, femmy girly shoes.
Hot shoes.
And hot girl shoes. Anywho, somebody tagged Mohop in one of my videos, and they contacted me, and I sent them a tracing, just a tracing. Feel free to put that anywhere. A tracing of my foot. He's dropping shit. That's the producer dropping shit. So they did a tracing of I did a tracing, a really terrible version, and we had to do another one. And they sent me these sandals, and I have another pair that are closed-toed as well. They don't fit perfectly because it was just a tracing. So they're Chicago-based, and I haven't been to Chicago in years. I happen to be flying from Sarasota to Midway Airport in Chicago to get here to the Washington Dulles Airport. And I contacted Mohop. I said, hey, I got 2 hours. Is there any chance you can meet me at the airport? Because I knew if they could do a 3D scan of my feet. Because 2 weeks ago was the National Little People Convention in Austin, Texas, and I was supposed to go. There was a glitch in the matrix, and we became unexpectedly homeless for 16 days. And so couldn't go to the Little People Convention. And Mohop was there, and they ended up scanning people's feet. And I knew if I had gone to the Little People Convention without the Mohop people there, these are like the Air Jordans of Little People shoes. So I would have been scooting around Austin, Texas, and somebody would have clubbed me over the head, I'm sure. Some dwarf trying to steal my shoes. So we got the Mohop people to go to Austin, Texas. So they scanned a bunch of people. So I was very jealous. They came to the airport yesterday. I ended up being 15 minutes late getting in. By the time I got my scooter, I was timing it. I had 17 minutes. 17 minutes with these lovely people. And there I was in the baggage claim area of Chicago Midway. They had this contraption. If you're on my Facebook, you can look at it. It's this white square pad with these weird things that come up. And I stood on this platform, and they scanned my little dwarf flipper elephant trunk feet. And then I was like, peace out, mother truckers. And I got back to my gate with 5 minutes to spare. And now I'm going to have an entire collection of shoes, and I can't wait.
Did you have a captive audience when you were doing all this?
People were like, what the hell? Security, I guess, came over at one point to find out what was happening, what they were setting up in the baggage claim area. They were going to try to set up by security, but there was a no on that one. So, it was, I think people were just like, what's going on?
I want to know about Little People Convention. What is that like?
Well, these my people. I'm being adjusted. Am I not talking loud enough? What's happening?
I can hear. Yeah, but
she sounds fine over here.
Oh, now I don't.
Oh, you took it away. Don't take it. take away your power, dude.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. We're back.
Oh,
We have a
okay.
short.
Ba-dum-bum.
A short film.
Story of my life. All right, I already forgot what the
Oh,
question
I
was.
want to know.
Little People
what it's
Convention.
like to be inside Little People Festival, or what's it called?
Well,
Convention.
I call it Dwarf Con.
Yes.
Not it's the LPA convention. So it happens. There's a national conference, a national one that happens every year in a different city. And I mean, the first time, well, even I haven't been to one in 7 years. I get dwarfed out very quickly. It freaks me out because I'm the only little person in my vicinity, in my family. I've never really hung out with like a multitude of dwarves other than conventions. So when you go there and all of a sudden you're looking an eye to eye with people, it's freaky. I'm used to seeing, assholes and all that kind of stuff. So to actually turn around and see somebody's eyes, you're like, ah, it freaks me out. But anyway, it's cool because you get to talk about shoes and things like what do you do to do this and how do you reach that and all these kind of things.
I had the only interaction I've really had prior to ours is when I was managing a ale house in Fairfax. There was this cool dude who would come in, a dwarf from Boston, and he had the heavy Boston accent. And we were having it was a St. Patrick's Day party, and he wanted to play a part. So I let him, and he just got free drinks all night and got to karaoke Godsmack with me. But it was a hoot. He got hammer timed.
Yeah.
Do you?
I don't drink much anymore, but I used to.
Do
work
little
in
people get hammer timed quicker?
Well, it all depends on your absorption rate. So it all depends on your size. I could drink in my day. I could drink some. Get me a couple glasses of wine, then I'm like, meh. But I don't drink. Alcohol just hurts my body these days. So
all
it
of
just
us,
it feels like I'm rotting from the inside. So I do the other stuff.
Chef and Curfew have been sustaining from alcohol abuse.
Abstaining.
Abstaining. Sorry.
You sustain for me.
Yeah.
Sustain in my absence.
They feel healthier, I think, right?
Oh yeah, man.
More
I'm feeling
clarity.
great.
This guy doesn't feel healthy today.
saying,
What a party! We had a Barbie party. It went well.
Oh, the
yeah.
Barbie party was last night?
Yeah, it was something else. I'll tell you
Was it
what.
full
Yeah.
of pink?
Yeah, it
A
was
lot of
pink. A lot of pink.
How do we feel about this whole Barbie thing? I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but apparently it's not for kids. That's from what I
Yeah, it's
heard.
kind of weird. I was supposed to go tomorrow. I don't know if we're gonna go.
Because I
I'm
mean, it's
confused.
Barbie, and you would think that it's for children, but then
go see the Barbie.
Well, they say
all
that it makes it not cool to like Barbie. Like, how does that make any sense to go see a Barbie movie and then it belittles Barbie as a character?
I mean, anti-heroes are kind of a hot thing right now, man.
see, this is the thing. I grew up in a different generation. For those just joining us on the TikTok, I'm doing the No Concessions Sessions podcast with my buddy Justin right here, and we're in a bank vault. There's Chris. There he is. Are you on the camera, Chris? I can't tell.
Yep,
and we're inside a bank vault, everybody. Like a legitimate, this is the Monument Theater where I'm doing 2 shows tonight in Winchester, Virginia. So, yes. Back to what we were talking
No,
about.
you're a great director when you're doing this. You're owning the situation.
Well, because I got people coming in and out. They're rolling in and out. The connection's not great.
The podcast guests that we've had is mostly musicians and some random, but like the comedians are you can tell like they're really good at the short talk and
That's kind of what they do, man.
Well, I'm a talker. I mean, I'm a storyteller, so my act has changed considerably over the last, just the last 3 years with social media, because I spend 2 to 6 hours a day on live talking to people. So I just talk about my life and crazy, the stuff that happens, and so now I just do that on stage.
changing your set style to storytelling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And before that, what kind of style would you?
I had stories, but it was shorter jokes, and then I would weave into stories. But now it's, it's laid back, sit around, grab some popcorn, kind of, I would suit a dinner theater kind of loungy. I like the small theaters. I love this kind of setup.
Do you like the stage setup? I know you were asking me about it yesterday.
Yeah, no, it's good. Their stage is really nice and high, and I got a bank vault behind me, so always cool. We're going to get some neat photographs for this show.
Yeah, for sure. And you're playing Gaithersburg this weekend
I'm
and somewhere else?
Gaithersburg, Maryland on Sunday, tomorrow, July 30th, and then I will be in Newport News, Virginia at Causey's Comedy Club in Newport News, August 4th and 5th, and then I'll be in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, August 10th and 11th.
Ooh, awesome.
Oh, you're lucky to be down there.
Kill Devil Hills. Yeah, I did it last year, and just COVID still was kind of ruining people's summers. So, this year, apparently it's back in action. So.
Yeah, the freaks are back out. You know what I mean?
How long are you in the Outer Banks for? Are you
well, 2 nights. We might stay an extra night or 2. We'll see how.
Oh man, it's so beautiful down there.
Yeah, it is. My husband's from North Carolina originally, but he can't be with me because he's recovering from shoulder surgery.
Oh no!
So he's 1 month into his left shoulder, and he can't use his right one at all. So he's spaghetti arms.
Is that what's they call that? The surgery, the Tommy John surgery? Did he have that?
I have no idea what that means.
I don't know, man. It's the one where you rotator cuff.
He tore his rotator cuff on both sides, and all of his tendons had dropped, and so they put a balloon in his shoulder, and apparently after 6 weeks it deflates. So any day now, whoosh. So he just started physiotherapy.
Whoa! So how long have you been married for?
2.5 years, but we met 27 years ago online. On a chat channel called Cheers back in the dial-up.
Oh, wow. So you guys had to wait 25 minutes to interact. If you had to send each other nudes, it took, 17 to 18 minutes. Coming in line by line, the top of the... there it is.
Sorry, I'm not up to speed on what you guys are talking about right now.
We're talking about, so back in the dial-up, see, he's... Well, no, you're about the same age. But back in the dial-up era of chatting online, it was just because it was slow. If you try to transmit pictures or just any type of interaction, it would take even if it was just text, it would sometimes take minutes. Yeah. So, but if you try to send a picture, it would come in line by line by line. It would take several minutes, and
because they were scanned pictures in most instances.
Yeah, and also just talking. You'd get, if the hamster fell off the wheel somewhere in internet land, everybody would lose internet, and then you'd have to dial back in, and it'd cause the wake up everybody in the house at 3:00 in the morning. Right. Me trying to do this dial-up thing.
Yeah, there was no sneaking to get online.
Yeah, my dad's like, "Get off the internet!" I'm like, oh. Anyway, so we met online in a chat channel called Cheers because we like the TV show, and he's from North Carolina, nice. And I was moving from Canada down to Los Angeles, so we were together about a year and a half, and he was a single dad, and I was going to give up everything to be a mom and a wife, and he was like, nope, you got bigger things to do with your life, and so we broke up. We went our separate ways. We each married and divorced other people. We have a 14-year break, and we've been back together 10.5 years, married 2.5.
That's awesome. So and is he also a little person?
I have nobody in my life that's a little person.
That's okay.
Yeah, he's the shortest guy I've ever dated. He's 5'7". All right. He's still nuts over me.
All right.
So, yep.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm in an interspatial relationship.
You have a huge fan of what do you call them? Dwarf catchers?
Dwarf collectors.
Collectors, okay. And that's actually like a scene and a movement, and that's like a thing?
Well, no, when you ask me about the little people conventions and stuff, just even online, people like me for all sorts of reasons. You like me for my comedy, for my charming good looks, and my dancing, and then of course there's the occasional one to rub one off to a LP. So yeah.
So
we call those ones dwarf collectors.
What's the weirdest dwarf collection request you've gotten?
Oh, well, no, it's usually I gotta be careful what I say on the TikTok. Our connection's really bad, so we don't have that many people in here, so that's good. Well, everybody thinks I'm gonna pick you up and put me on my dick and spin you around and all this. I'm in reality, we all have arthritis and bad hips, and it's like, pick me up, but spinning doesn't happen. It's not as glamorous and stuff as it sounds. It's a lot more work. That's why my husband has broken arms.
Oh, wow.
I'm broken. I killed the first husband by accident. Now the second one's going.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
I'm hard on a man. What can I say?
Wow, that's...
that's terrific.
Yeah, gonna be,
a lot of energy in a small package.
A lot of dwarf collectors in the room, apparently.
No, I was just asking. I thought it was interesting.
How's you doing?
Josh has got a creepy basement.
No, I don't have any weird fetishes.
Just said Justin, by the way.
Yeah.
Josh instead. I said
Josh instead of Justin. I got you. It's okay. I'm not the famous person on the podcast.
The other dwarf.
That's you. Wow.
Next.
Yeah, what's our next topic? I don't know.
We move on from the dwarf collecting.
Yeah, man, I had to ask, it's easy to ask you a question. You make regular conversation comfortable.
Good. People have always said that to me, and that's why I think because of my travels all over the world, I have a really good read on how people are with me. So I know by using my sense of humor, it puts people at ease, and then they know that they can't offend me. Because everybody's always like, I don't want to offend you. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that. You know, like you can tell when somebody's being an asshole, right? You know, so and words, you know, words have power, but you give them power or you don't give them power. So if you don't give certain words power, then who gives a crap if somebody says them? In my community, the word midget's the trigger word. Yeah, they lose their minds over it. And you're like, you don't represent us very well because you use the word midget. I'm like, it's because I don't give a crap about the word midget. I've been called a lot worse.
What's the professional way to say it?
Little person, dwarf are the most commonly acceptable terms. However, it also depends on where you are in the world.
Yeah, I thought the dwarf was not.
No, everybody thinks that dwarf seems derogatory, but we have dwarfism.
I just go with dude.
Yeah.
For everybody just across the
There you
board.
go,
It's
yeah.
been keeping me afloat in these politically correct
Oh,
times.
wow.
Oh
Do
yeah,
you
especially in
really?
the restaurant business when you agree
Yo,
to table
dudes,
or
what's
talk.
up?
You gotta
Yeah.
say y'all.
Y'all. Oh yeah, y'all
Y'all
is a
okay.
it's a
Folks,
beautiful thing. And we get to use
kinda.
it down here, no problem.
Yep,
you
yep.
know?
You can still identify as the South. Yeah.
So you're looking at movie opportunities, things like that. You have a IBM. What's the website?
IDMB.
Yeah, you got that.
Independent movie database. I do. I've been in a movie called For the Love of Money, which was like kind of an urban cult classic.
No.
And then one called it's called El Matador. I don't even know where that ended up. And I was in the teaser for Austin Powers Gold Member, which is not the movie. I was in the teaser that came out 6 months before the movie, but they played it in the movie theater. So, okay, remember Austin Powers, the first one where Austin was running through the streets, ducking and hiding from all the hot chicks? Well, for the second movie, Gold Member, they recreated that scene with all little people. And so Vern Troyer, who played Mini-Me, played Austin Mini.
Did you hang out with Vern Troyer?
And I was one of the go-go dancers. And so we had a dance scene, run scene. Oh, yeah, I've known Vern. Well, I knew Vern for years. Yeah, he's a troubled soul, unfortunately. Couldn't handle the fame.
So you were a go-go dancer?
I was.
Do you have pictures of
I
this?
do.
Yes.
They're on Instagram.
Oh,
the picture of
man.
me, I'll dig it up for you. Yeah, I had a cute blonde wig, big go-go glasses.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd like to do more stuff. We've got the Unstoppable Me documentary, which we filmed last November. A film crew from the UK came over, and we've done 2 screenings of it at 50 minutes long. We've been asked to add another 25 minutes to it, which we're doing. We have footage. The problem is the editor, who is the most expensive person on the project, it also gives the feel for the documentary. We have to pay him because we're adding more stuff, and so we've run out of money on the documentary. So if anybody wants to donate, we will add your name to the credits for the GoFundMe. It's tagged in all my social media stuff, and we're hoping to sell it to Amazon or Netflix. We have 2 distribution companies now that have approached us, so we're hoping to start a bidding war. Because and then I also have my new comedy special I just released for only $2 American. That's it, $2. It's over an hour long. I figured I wanted to make it accessible to everybody.
It's a steal.
Where'd you film that at?
Up in Oxford, Pennsylvania, November 5th, which is my husband's birthday. But we were filming the documentary at the same time, so we filmed the comedy special at the same time.
Sweet.
So I figured we just released the comedy special just a few weeks ago because we were homeless, and I wanted to put it out there, to make money, and we're putting all that money towards the documentary because that I want for everybody to see.
Right. I don't want to disclose like where you live on the planet, for your safety
Florida.
or whatever. But
Southwest Florida.
you were telling me about where you live at and how unique the space was designed and built.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so we got screwed by our roommates a couple of weeks ago. We were all supposed to move into a house together, and they basically 11 hours notice said we don't have money and we owe the landlord money, so we're gonna take off. So they left my husband, who had just had surgery 4 days earlier, stranded. So for 16 days, we lived in a bug, drug, and hooker-infested hotel. And, well, I pretty much had a mental breakdown because I was like, I didn't know what I was going to do. It was really rough. But, this is Unstoppable Me we're talking about. You got to know that at some point things are going to change. There's only... Bad shit can only happen for so long. At some point, you got to be like, no, this is... Some good's going to come. Anyway, a friend of mine sent me a website for professional people. And so you're looking for housing, but it's not long-term. I think the max is 6 months. So we're living in a garage, but it's a 3-car garage in a house that was built in 1990. However, the little houses around this little square that we live in were all built in 1930 by Barnum and Bailey Ringling Brothers Circus. And they built these little tiny cottages around where we live for the little people community at the circus. So I'm back to my roots, bitches. Yeah.
And you have a lot of neighbors?
Oh, well, we don't actually right now. We the guy that owns the property, his parents live. So they're the caretakers. They live in one of the cottages. And so we've got a big mango tree. I'm outside of my lives. It's just really nice. It's hidden back away from the beaten path kind of thing. And it's just lovely. So, we were in a rough place, but at least we know we're good till January. So
yeah,
we'll go from there.
Well, I could definitely see people streaming your show on Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to set up, I want to do Patreon because now that the way our place is set up, I want to set up like a camera and basically go live on Patreon for subscribers. But like the other day, I was doing dishes on TikTok and I had thousands of people watching me just doing household stuff because people like to watch me move and do stuff. So when I'm sitting here, it's like, yay, I mean, they can see my whole body, which is great. But when I'm actually doing stuff, and plus I had to go head first into the sink to get the little catcher thing to get all the goop out of there. So my husband's like, as soon as you bent over, boom, your numbers were like sky high.
That's hilarious.
And Granny got a dump truck.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna have to put the spotlight on that thing tonight.
Yep. Big spot.
I mean, that's what goes on. You just act like a Barbie.
Yeah, the Barbie thing. The girls
we found out what
contest
Barbies act like.
I was like, yeah.
How do they act like?
Apparently, we had a Barbie contest last night, and so first few girls went up, and they were kind of like, they went up and did a little spin around and Barbie girl thing. And then a couple of the girls were like, well, listen, if I'm going to win this contest, I'm going to really have to bring out the big guns. And it turned into...
Slutty Barbie.
Yeah, then we found out that Barbie actually was a little ratchet and was, she worked her way through college. And, so there's a whole lot of jiggling going on.
Yeah, well, Ken didn't have the man bit, so she had to move on up.
He said the man bit?
The man bit.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to add? I don't want to take too much of your time before the show gets going.
Yeah. We got nothing else going on, right? Bringing in the masses. No. We're doing. Anybody have any questions? Oh, my husband's on the line. Hi, Kevs.
Hey, Kevin. How you doing?
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah,
what do?
I'm good.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome.
And Tanyalee Davis, is it at Tanyalee?
It's
at comedian Tanyalee
Davis?
Davis?
No. Everything is at Tanyalee Davis, except for Instagram is comedian Tanyalee Davis. TANYALEEDAVIS. The Guinness Book World Record holder for the shortest comedian in the world. So you can Google me.
You are the third Guinness Book World Record little person I've been in a room with in my life. I'll tell you about that after the show. Yeah, I can tell you about that.
Go ahead and tell us.
It won't be
all right. So it was like when I was 21 years old, my girlfriend and my ex-girlfriend, her grandfather was not in the best of health. He lived down in West Palm Beach, Florida, in one of the little one-by-one gated cities. They're actual cities.
Okay.
And so every Friday was Fish Friday at one of the local retirement communities. It was like a hot spot. It was like 4:30 p.m. It was, if you were 65 years and older in that part of Florida, there was a spot to be. It was like a little nightclub, but with fried fish. Sweet. And so one of my ex-girlfriend's grandfather's homies was his grandsons or their grandkids were the two gentlemen. They were the two little people that they were the richest little people in the world. That was their thing, and they had they did
real estate.
They did real estate, and they did what's the thing they called speaking of positive speaking, motivational speaking, and so I recognized them because I was obsessed with the Guinness Book World Records as a kid, and then I knew all the stupid stuff, and I would go through, I just read it page by page. So we sit down to the first Fish Friday, and they walked in, and I was like, I know you. This is incredible, and they took me. He took me for a ride in his Corvette. It was awesome, man. Yeah, the dude was awesome. Yeah, they're really cool.
Are they twins?
Yes, they're twins.
Yeah, that's very rare to have. Yeah, I've seen them. I don't know where they've ended up, but yeah, they became quite moguls.
Yeah,
that would be extremely rare.
South Florida, that's awesome. My parents live down that. They live in Boca Raton now.
Yeah, that's on the other side of the.
Yep,
penis.
on the other. Yep.
Have you seen a map of Florida? It looks like a big dick.
It's where It's where the glands is, not the vas deferens.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, world records. Guys are breaking records here at Monument Entertainment. Chef always has good random stories. He's the chef, by
What's
the
your
way.
specialty?
I like soups and stocks and sauces. When I was in my early part of my career, I spent a lot of time doing like saucier stuff. So that was, so I like those because it's systematic. It's therapeutic, systematic. You're building something, but
Flavor portfolio.
yeah, ceviches as well. Ceviche, like 50% of the reason I got into cooking is ceviche. Well, I say 40% of the reason is ceviche, 50% was Jack Tripper, and then 10% was the lifestyle.
Jack Tripper.
Yeah, Jack Tripper, man. Rest in peace to John Ritter. But Jack Tripper, when I was a kid, I was like, this guy is the shit. Like, he's just cooking, and then he's living with these two hot chicks, and then and the whole pretend to be gay thing, and then. And then he ended up marrying the owner of the restaurant he was the chef at. The owner, Mr. Angelo, was always like tearing him up, and then he ended up being like, all right, Mr. Angelo, I got something for you, and he ended up marrying his daughter and taking the restaurant away from him, and then that led into Three's a Crowd, the spinoff show, one of the spinoff shows.
Wow.
See, I can't even remember what I had for lunch last week.
See? Trivia.
Yeah, I've landed on my head quite a few times. So
This thought brought to you by cannabis and cannabis products.
there you go. Excellent.
Right on. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for taking time with us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right.
Appreciate it. It
We
was
out.
fun.
Peace.
Yay.
It's not just the new venue in town. It's a monument to live entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
The Monument, the new premier concert and event venue in Winchester. 2 stories, state-of-the-art sound, delicious food and drink, and the best in live events. The Monument, on the corner of Loudon and Piccadilly in Winchester, and right at the cutting edge of live entertainment. Go to themonumentva.com. That's themonumentva.com for events, tickets, special offers, and more. The Monument. We'll see you at the next show.